Welcome back to the Hive Doctor, everyone. So today we're going to be taking the new Beak Jeep or Bee Buggy, whatever you like to call it. We're going to be taking it out on a work venture. I'm taking you guys along with me today as we approach 5 vineyards. Was planning on 6, changed my mind here at the end of this video. So we'll just be going to 5 different vineyards and seeing if they would like to pair up with feather bees, bees with benefits, my beehive management service. So should be it's going to be a learning experience, a lot of beautiful scenery. Our weather is gorgeous. And I got to say first, after the intro here, you're going to notice that I wasn't really paying attention. I ended up shooting the majority of this video vertically, so my bad on that. I hope you guys can deal with it and stick around for today's adventure. So this is really interesting. I'm learning a lot today. I'm at vineyard number 2 out of, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I'm going to be approaching about my beehive management service. And I'm finding so far that there's a certain belief or attitude that I was not aware of, and it really caught me off guard. The majority of people know, especially vineyards or viticulturists, if you will, that grapevines don't need pollination. They don't need cross-pollination by honeybees. But I'm finding so far, 2 vineyards in, they don't actually know what bees do for the grapes, the clusters, the vines, and the pollen count. So I just got someone's card, so I'm going to be contacting them later. They were just busy when I got here. This is a really nice vineyard. I'm going to show you guys some clips on the way out of the scenery here. But as I approach them, I've got a tailor-made booklet for them so they can see the simple step-by-steps of how my program works and what the bees do for them. And so when I'm not able to speak with someone in person, I'll leave that book despite, anyways. I even left it at the last vineyard when they said, absolutely no bees. They will never have bees on their vineyard. And it just kind of surprised me. But apparently, according to the woman I spoke with, there are beekeepers going around trying to insist that honeybees cross-pollinate grapevines, but they do not. They do other things. Like I mentioned before, I'll go over that shortly here. But let's go ahead and get out of here onto the next vineyard, and I'll show you some of the scenery on the way out. Cool little sign telling you where other vineyards and things are. All right, so the benefits that I learned based on research paper that I found online that honeybees have for vineyards is not, of course, going to be cross-pollination for grape flowers. They don't need it. They're self-pollinating in that regard. So what bees do for vineyards is, first of all, they remove this protective cap from the flowers. That protective cap is called calyptra. And when the bees remove it, and I don't know why they do, this will increase the pollen count of the grape flowers up to 70%. There's a guy in my club, hope you don't mind me giving you a shout out, John. I like to attribute something that he recently told me to him getting bees. He's got a personal vineyard on his property. It's small acre and a half of grapevines. And before he had bees, he was producing 4 tons of grapes. I'm not in the grape business or wine business, but I think that's a lot no matter what. But after he got bees, he produced 6.25 tons of grapes. He also attributes it to some of the water that comes into his property, the soil. He's got a lot of things working for him in that regard. The next thing that bees do for vineyards is when they're removing that calyptra, somehow it helps in the development of each individual grape berry and the cluster overall. Bees somehow also, and I don't understand the process, but according to the research paper, it says that their presence in a vineyard, their interaction with it, reduces something called millerandage, which kind of sounds like some mildewy thing. I didn't really look that up, but it sounded like a word that viticulturists do not want to have in their grapevines. And the last thing I learned that bees do for vineyards is a lot of vineyards will plant cover crops underneath, and the bees will pollinate those cover crops. And the pollination of those cover crops will increase the nitrogen content in the soil, which all plants benefit from, and therefore, obviously, the grapevines. And I don't remember what nitrogen is good for in plants, but believe me, it's good. So leaving the second vineyard, just came across this farm stand where apparently they've got water and cups for flowers, clippers, bread, eggs, firewood, with a little honor system box where you leave your money there. Pretty cool little farm stand. Open. And now we're on our way to the third vineyard today. I'll show you what it looks like when we get there. Meanwhile, I am enjoying the drive. So I just pulled in. There's the tasting room right there. Here's the highway that brings you in to the entrance. And it comes in right at a nice outdoor area where they've got live music from time to time. Obviously not now. And then they've just got acres on acres on this hill full of grapevines. I'm thinking somewhere up in there would be a great spot for a couple of beehives. Let's go see what they think. Okay, so I just left the tasting room here. Of course, the owner isn't here. That's a challenge in doing what I'm doing. Just, you know, my drive-bys is finding the owner available. But I did leave my little booklet for them, my name and number, so hopefully they'll get a hold of me and we can do something. Maybe actually make an arrangement for a specific day and time. But one of the parts I love about this is getting to drive these country roads. It's just beautiful, especially in my new Jeep. Guess what her name is? Actually, I'll tell you her name. I finally came up with one. It's always difficult for me to come up with a name for a vehicle. So this is actually the first, and I've owned like, I don't know, probably shy of 20 vehicles my entire driving career. But if anyone can guess why this one's name is Kristen, then I don't know, maybe I'll send you a jar of honey or something. So whoever gets that first, you got to be fairly exact. Yeah, so let me know what you think. On to the next vineyard. Okay, everybody, just got here to the fourth vineyard / winery of the day. It's a somewhat smaller one, but I kind of like that idea because it means 2 beehives, which is what I offer in my management service. You can do more than that, but that's the minimum. It's 2 beehives. They're perfect for a smaller vineyard like this. So I'm going to get inside and let you guys know how it goes. I'm not taking any of you in or identifying any of the vineyards on this video because I don't want to bias anyone's opinion. If you're visiting the area or if you live in the area, whatever their decision is on whether they want bees or not shouldn't reflect whether you come here and have a drink or not and enjoy yourself. So let's get inside and I'll let you know and report back shortly. Hey guys, so I just came back from inside the tasting room up here on the hill. I'll show you that real quick. It's a bathroom. So nice looking. Hey, at least they have bathrooms, right? All right, so that was a really promising conversation. Probably lasted just under 10 minutes. Turns out that the owner has been wanting to get bees, so this might be an option for them. They know people with bees. The only thing is, usually whenever regular beekeepers are looking to put bees somewhere, they're just looking for a place for themselves to set bees and make honey for themselves and sell. But with my beehive management service, my clients keep all the honey, so that's a win-win for them. They loved having honey on their shelves because my club had sold them some and it flew off the shelves. But imagine if this vineyard was able to have their own honey with their own label made right here in their own backyard. It doesn't get better than that. We probably wouldn't be able to keep up with demand. So I've got one more vineyard to go to today before I head home, and let's see what that looks like. I've had a pretty good feeling about that one ever since I started this little venture, so let's hit the road. All right, so here we are at the final vineyard of the day. You guys just saw the beautiful scenery coming in. It's really nice out here. I can't wait to see what it looks like inside. I definitely notice a big difference between fancy versus, small, family, humble. What a difference, but they all have their place, and they each find their own unique people that they draw to them. So I do have one more other than the one right here, but it's in another county. That's something I'm going to hit tomorrow. I'll probably include that in this video. It'll be like right after this one. So I'm going to pop in this tasting room here, see who I can talk to, see what we can find out, and let you know how it goes. All right, so now that we're back from that adventure, that excursion out to those vineyards, I did have some technical difficulties with my mic, so I'm going to just summarize how that last one went. And it went pretty well. That was a very fancy vineyard. They had a lot to offer for their customers, food-wise, wine-wise. They even had hard ciders, which is what I like. Not a big wine fan or beer, but I do love a good mead or hard cider. They had a great little gift shop, and I noticed they had quite a few things that were bee themed. They had charcuterie boards, cutting boards, and they would have like a bee burned into it or etched into it. But what they didn't have was honey on the shelf. And I think that would be great if they took advantage of bees with benefits. I harvested the honey, they put their own label on it, and they sold that in their very own store with these other bee themed and related things. But again, I was not able to get a hold of the owner today, but I did talk with one of the bartenders. She was kind enough to take the booklet and make sure it got into the hands of the owner, and so I appreciated that she did that. Also had me a drink, as you guys know, that spicy mango habanero. Wow. It was thick like juice, had mango flavor, but definitely burned on the way down. It was good, but I didn't finish it. But overall, it was a gorgeous day. I learned a lot. I had a great experience. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the scenery as well. I appreciate you coming along, and I'll see each of you in the next video. And don't forget to put your guesses about why we named this girl Kristen. Catch you later.